Well, alright, gang, welcome back to the second half of tonight's Rwl Sn Rl in El Paso, Texas. Hangman Tex Lynch here, along with Wally and GB. And that's going to do it for the tag team tournament here on this edition of Sn Rl. That is going to pick up on Monday night on RWL Rage, and that's going to be a whole bunch of new teams getting involved in that one. So you're definitely going to want to check that one out with Don, Christy, and Myron. It is going to be a great... So far, it's been a terrific tournament, and I think it's going to just get better. Well, we had some great results tonight, that is for damn sure. Alright, well, coming up next, it is a situation with Liberty Bell, Danielle Heathcote, the ladies triple crowner, and ODB, who had a little clash at a tag team match recently, and ODB picked up the pinfall win on Liberty Bell, Danielle, and you know that does not go well around here.
Alright, we start the second half with another ladies single, and this time, it's Liberty Bell Danielle in a non-title scrap with ODB.
I try to urge Danielle to stay out of trouble, but she's like Daniel LaRusso in The Karate Kid. She's an asshole magnet.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our second half opening non-title match is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Patty Powers from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She's an RWL Ladies Triple Crown Champion and the Snarl Women's Champion, All-American Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote.
You know, she's really great, and so thinks she might just shine a little brighter if she didn't seem to draw in every bad-tempered jag in town.
Not a lot of peace to be had when you're defending 3 championships, man. Just about everyone's looking for you, and just about everyone finds you sooner or later.
Oh, ain't that the truth, GB?
Her opponent, accompanied by Luna Vachon from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Here is ODB.
Well, here's a pair that nobody expected, but then nobody was surprised at either. Talk about a natural pairing, Luna Vachon and ODB. Well, now, that's going to be a formidable tag team, but unfortunately, they wound up clashing with American Powers, and, well, they wound up with ODB picking up the pinfall win over Liberty Bell Danielle, and you know what all kind of ruckus that led to, and it brings us here to tonight in this single non-title matchup with ODB facing Liberty Bell Danielle, and she's just looking to get even. It is what it is.
Tex, you know how much we love Danielle, right?
Yeah.
It's like I said, I really do think she's great, and I really don't want to be that guy.
But
she's got to loosen up a little. I mean, I'm all for competitive spirit and everything, but the tag match with ODB was just one loss in a non-title match that didn't even mean much outside of the fans.
And honestly, even returning to the scene of the crime with ODB is just wasteful. It's only going to perpetuate the tension that's already there from Luna and Danielle. Could be investing her time against a worthwhile competitor like Toni Storm. I'm sorry, boss, but we gotta be truthful with you.
I can only advise her. I mean, after all, she's the one in there putting the risk in. I really can't say much. Walt Rothburn rings the bell, and here they come. They lock it up, collar and elbow. ODB pushes Danielle towards the corner. Ref's going to have to get in there and intercede. Oh, another smack to the face from Liberty Bell Danielle to ODB. ODB counters with a forearm. Danielle flipped to the corner, rebound out. There's a crucifix from ODB as Luna Vachon cheers her on. Yeah, oh, Luna Vachon, that's a whole other mess. There's another forearm from Danielle. There's a clothesline that puts ODB out on the floor. Luna Vachon taking on her partner here as Danielle steps outside to go after ODB. She counters with an elbow. Danielle counters her. It's back inside the ring. Here comes ODB right after her. A little bump right there. A forearm, another. Danielle sidesteps the kick. Delivers a kick of her own to ODB. Head first into the turnbuckle goes ODB. There's a kick from Liberty Bell Danielle. He draws a knee into the throat of ODB. Patty Powers looking on here. There's a kick to the midsection. A clothesline. Oh, man. ODB with a drop toe hold on Liberty Bell Danielle. ODB rounds her up. Whoa, nasty spin kick. The momentum starting to shift in her direction as she starts to get nasty, and it starts to get personal. Oh, man. ODB misses with the crossbody. Danielle drives a knee into her back. Follows it up with a stomp. Follows it up with an elbow. Nice combination of moves from Liberty Bell Danielle. An arm drag from ODB. Another kick attempt, but Danielle blocks it. ODB trying for a neck breaker. Didn't seem to work out too good. ODB out on the apron. Counters Danielle. Gets back inside the ring. Running Bulldog. Slamming Danielle head first into the mat. Flip over neck lift from ODB. He goes in for a quick cover. One. Nope, not even one. Well done. Liberty Bell Danielle still in the game here. ODB with a rake to the back of Danielle Heathcote. Danielle gets a hold of the pole. Man, snap suplex. ODB whipped her to the corner. Again, sidestepped by Danielle. There's an elbow from ODB. Danielle whipped over the top rope out onto the floor. And ODB takes herself to the top turnbuckle here. Liberty Bell Danielle slowly making her way to a standing position. And here she comes. Oh, well, another crash and burn for ODB. Lady is not too coordinated as far as it looks. Danielle rounds her up, drives her into the barricade. She bounces off like a pinball. Danielle puts on the brakes, delivers an elbow to the leg, and a running spear takes down ODB. Luna Vachon looking like she want to get involved. Probably not a good idea right now. Danielle rounds up ODB and escorts her towards the ring. Slams her head first into the lip of the apron. Oh, man. Yeah, Danielle is not in a good mood about ODB, or Luna Vachon for that matter. Hard shot from Liberty Bell Danielle. ODB puts on the brakes, a spin kick. Takes Danielle down to the floor. The referee's still counting. Danielle being assisted up by Luna Vachon. Probably not a good thing for her to do. Just saying. Danielle snaps out of it. Makes her way back inside. ODB with a Russian leg sweep on Liberty Bell Danielle. A jawjacker from Danielle to ODB. A quick forearm puts her in the corner. Danielle turns her around. And look at this. Into the ring post time. 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 Yes, you can do it on the inside. Luna Vachon decided she's going to get involved here. Danielle doesn't want any part of her. ODB struggling to get to a standing position here. Danielle turns her attention back to her. ODB quickly countered by Liberty Bell Danielle. Whip to the corner. Danielle with a boot to the throat of ODB. And down she goes, another driving knee into the midsection of ODB, followed up with a stomp to the leg. Danielle starting to work up a little sweat here. ODB whips her to the ropes. Misses the grapple. Danielle puts on the brakes. Whips ODB to the corner. ODB counters, escapes the corner. Danielle counters and escapes the corner. There's an elbow from ODB. She charges. Cross body with a pin attempt. 1, 2. Ooh. Oh man, that's close. Stomp to the chest. Danielle counters with a kick. A running spear takes ODB down at the canvas. She rolls out to the floor. Danielle looking pretty confident. The folks in El Paso here cheering her on. ODB hung up on the top. ODB hangs up Danielle on the top rope. Makes her way back inside. Danielle counters with an elbow into a sleeper hold, and well, this could be it right here. Nope, Danielle releases the hold. Luna Vachon starting to undo the turnbuckle. The referee catches her at it. Danielle goes for the pin, but the referee again distracted by Luna Vachon and the turnbuckle. Well, oh man. Danielle stalking ODB here. Back into the sleeper hold. One more time, center ring, no ropes to get to. Referee's ringing the bell. That's going to do it. ODB is out. Liberty Bell Danielle wins this matchup by submission.
Here's the time, 6 minutes and 25 seconds. And your winner, Liberty Bell Danielle.
Well, at least that's one more hassle off the plate for Liberty Bell Danielle. She's still got a whole lot more to look at down the pike. But ODB is no longer a problem, thank goodness. Folks, we'll be back with more RWL Sn Rl right after the break. Stick around.
As we continue, another ladies matchup, and oh boy, the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, is set to face timeless Toni Storm.
I'll bet that's gonna be a good one.
This next match, set for one fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here's the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington.
Well, it looks like the Yankee Rose beat the drums loud enough for a high-profile match, and if she didn't get one. Georgia just swears she's so great, but I think she's in over her skis on this one. Toni Storm is in a whole nother league, man. If Georgia wins, which I doubt, I guarantee you, it won't have been no clean win.
I suppose this is why we didn't get Liberty Bell versus Toni Storm tonight. Seems they were both booked against other opponents, but we do know now. That rematch between Danielle and Toni Storm will happen again soon.
And hey, I can't wait. They had a great match at Black Friday, but a draw was definitely not what everyone was expecting.
Nope, everybody was definitely not expecting a draw, and I mean, wow, that was such a letdown. But there's going to be a rematch, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a clean winner this time around. Just a question of who it's going to be.
And her opponent from the Gold Coast of Australia, timeless Toni Storm.
I gotta tell you guys, she is some piece of work, timeless Toni Storm. World famous at this point. About as popular as they come, one of the hottest ladies in the business right now. The timeless one. Gonna be locking it up with Liberty Bell Danielle at some point in the future. And who knows who else he's going to be locking it up with, but right now tonight, it's the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, and she may be in for a hell of a lot more than she bargained for. Toni Storm. Just, I mean, look at this. Whole audience is like dead silent. Well, she does her thing. I mean, she has got the whole crowd in the palm of her hand, and it is absolutely an amazing thing to see. Again, not since the days of gorgeous Georgia have we seen this kind of stuff. Timeless Toni Storm, definitely an amazing piece of work. Oh man, this one's going to be good. Going to have a lot of eyes on this one, and I guarantee you Danielle is sitting in the back watching this one on a monitor somewhere. Oh man, Toni Storm and Yankee Rose. Oh, here we go. Willie Johnson rings the bell. They lock it up. Georgia Washington with the upper hand. Snap suplex on Toni Storm. A kick to the side. Georgia going for a quick pin here. One. Just one. There's Willie Johnson. Okay, here we go again. The Yankee Rose with a head scissors on Toni Storm. A knock on the noggin too. Georgia Washington takes down Toni Storm with an elbow. That was wild. Huh. Toni Storm whipped to the ropes. The Yankee Rose with a very fancy neckbreaker. And another spinning elbow. Toni Storm in big trouble in the early goings here. She finally starts to counter here. Gets a hold of Georgia Washington. Whips her to the corner. Playing a little game of tug-of-war with the arm of the Yankee Rose. Toni Storm trying to battle back here, but Georgia Washington counters her way out of the corner. Couple of chops across the chest of Toni Storm. Gets a hold of the leg, takes her down, and snaps the leg too. Georgia Washington firmly in control here. Toni Storm back up to a standing position, and a quick elbow takes her down, followed up with a double boot stomp to the midsection. Oh, Toni Storm rounded up by the Yankee Rose, placed up against the ropes, and bounced off the ropes with forearms to the back. Georgia Washington catches an elbow from Toni Storm, delivers a series of rights, a kick to the midsection, and another neck breaker. Toni Storm has yet to mount any serious offense, and it ain't good. Georgia Washington all the way up on the top turnbuckle here. Toni Storm back to a standing position, but well, now that kind of didn't work out. Toni Storm takes advantage of the mistake, a set of kicks to Georgia, and a Hurricane Rana. Sends the Yankee Rose to the outside. Toni Storm going to go right out after her. Whipped back inside is the Yankee Rose. Toni Storm makes her way back inside. Whipped to the ropes by Georgia. Another beautiful wraparound neck breaker from the Yankee Rose. Kick to the midsection of Toni Storm. Oh, this ain't good. Oh, that's a pretty nasty stretch. But Toni Storm cuts herself loose with a couple of knocks to the side of the head of Georgia Washington. Both ladies back to a standing position here. Toni Storm goes, pendulum DDT. That was beautiful. Okay, hard forearm takes Georgia down to the canvas. The Yankee Rose goes behind here. A little bit of a wrestling roll. Georgia Washington catches a right to the head. Toni Storm with another forearm drops Georgia to the canvas. That's harmless. Toni Storm doing a little bit of showboating here, and why the hell not? She has just regained control of this matchup. Drop toe hold into a leg stretch. Georgia Washington in some trouble here. Turns it around. A couple of shots to the head. Gets herself loose from the hold. Georgia countered by Toni Storm. Tries for the drop toe hold again, but don't get it. There's a kick to the midsection. Tries for the spinning back fist, but Georgia too quick with a set of rights and a kick to the knee. Toni Storm whipped to the ropes, but counters back into the drop toe hold and back into the leg stretch again. Okay. Georgia Washington finds her way out of the hold one more time. Back up on her feet, a quick running spear takes Toni down. Georgia Washington trying to rally back here after losing the momentum momentarily to Toni Storm. Toni whipped into the corner. There's a kick to the midsection. Grabbed by the ankles and assisted out of the corner with an alley-oop. Here's a pin attempt. 1, 2. As close to a near fall as we've gotten so far. But Georgia Washington still has to go right back to work. Ooh, there's that chop, and here it comes, the Rockets' red glare. That could be the end right here. Here's a pin attempt. 1, 2. Oh, shut up, Toni Storm. Powering out of the Rockets' red glare. I know Georgia's mad about that. Gotta be mad as hell. Here she comes, big time. Cross body splash. 1, 2, and again. Toni Storm says, no, I'm not going out like that. Georgia Washington looking like she's in control of things. And she might very well be. There's a stomp to the midsection. A driving knee into the lower back of Toni Storm. Toni Storm back on the canvas and back in trouble. She rolls to the outside as Georgia Washington tries to get some attention and some love from the fans. That's a tall order right there. Georgia rolls to the outside after Toni Storm. Toni counters with a hard right. Gets a hold of the Yankee Rose. Has her up over the shoulder. Slams her head first into the lip of the apron. Well, now Toni Storm rolls her back inside. She is back in control of this match after beating out. Oh, running spear took her down hard. Here's another pin attempt. 1, 2. Well, now this is not going Toni Storm's way right now, is it? The Yankee Rose into the corner. Tony Storm charges full tilt. Boom. There's a whole bunch of buttocks to the face. Down goes the Yankee Rose. There's a low drop kick. So Georgia Washington, Tony Storm goes for the cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. That is going to do it. Timeless Tony Storm picks up the win over the Yankee Rose by pinfall. Let's go get the official time.
Here's the time. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And your winner, Timeless Tony Storm.
That is another thing about her. She can take a whole bunch of punishment, come from behind, and pull off an upset win, which is what she just did to the Yankee Rose. Absolutely amazing, kicking out of the Rockets' red glare. That was definitely a sight to behold. And there's the wrap-up right there. That dropkick put it away. We'll be back with more RWL Sn Rl in just a minute. Up next, some non-tournament related tag team competition. The Sn Rl Tag Team Championships on the line. The Freak and the Wild Thing. The Psychedelics defending the titles from Joe and Mark Coffey, the Coffey Brothers.
Time's come again for the Freak and Wild Thing to defend those Sn Rl tag titles. And like the originals before them, the Psychedelics find themselves in need of worthy opponents they haven't dealt with before.
And so enter Gallus, the team of the Coffey brothers, Mark and Joe. Just between us broadcast dudes, Gallus, did you know? It's a Gaelic word for chicken. What in the frozen blue hell made them choose a name like Gallus?
Chicken? Really and truly? Geez, that was a bad call all the way around. Just the same, the Coffey brothers here with a fat opportunity to move up in the world with a win over the Psychedelics. But I think you guys already know the Brothers Coffey, as I refuse to call them Gaelic chicken, are going into this one with 2 strikes against them. And those 2 strikes are Freak and Wild Thing.
I refuse to call them Gaelic chicken. Johnny wins again this week. Wally, you gotta do better. Gaelic chicken.
Hey, I'm the one that fed him the line.
There ya go again, Wally, selling yourself short. It was you who said Gigi Dolan was a few Marines short of a platoon last week. You getting some zingers to you know.
He's absolutely right, Wally. And here it comes. Our boy Johnny's honey, Sylvia Strong, the Freak and the Wild Thing, the Sn Rl Tag Team Champions of record since summer, the Psychedelics, and the Freak and the Wild Thing finally got a brand new challenge in Gallus with Gaelic chicken boy. Wally, you shouldn't have never told us that. Gaelic chicken. Colonel Lingus fried chicken. I hope the censors don't get us for that one. The Freak and the Wild Thing and Sylvia Strong all ready to go here against the Coffey Brothers. And, gotta admit, they've got a great opportunity, and if they could pull it off, it'll be a huge upset, but I don't think that is going to happen, guys.
This next tag team match, one fall with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Sn Rl Tag Team Championships. The challengers from Glasgow, Scotland, at a combined weight of 486 pounds, the team of Joe and Mark Coffey. Their opponents accompanied by Sylvia Strong at a combined weight of 477 pounds. From Paducah, Kentucky, the Freak, and from Staten Island, New York, Wild Thing Will 2. The Sn Rl Tag Team Champions, the Psychedelics.
Well, they're handing Willie Johnson the belts, but their eyes have not left the Coffey Brothers since they got into the ring. Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. Alright, it is gonna be Mark Coffey and the Freak starting this one off. The Sn Rl Tag Team titles hanging in the balance on this one. Oh man, here we go. Willie Johnson Rings the bell. They come center ring. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Mark Coffey has him up, but the Freak counters. Goes behind on Mark Coffey. Headbutt right between the shoulder blades, and down he goes. The Freak gathers him up. Wheelbarrow face buster. That was nicely done. The Freak drives a knee into the canvas and a rolling elbow into the back of Mark Coffey. The Freak firmly in control in the early goings here. Mark Coffey whipped to the corner. The Psychedelics going to work here. You might have seen that cheap shot the Wild Thing laid on him. Here comes the Wild Thing on the tag. Kick to the ribs for Mark Coffey. A left from the Wild Thing. Wayne Tague whips him to the far right corner, misses with the splash. Mark Coffey with the quick Olay and a forearm takes the Wild Thing down. Mark Coffey starting a battle back here. Has the Wild Thing down on the canvas, putting the boots to the hands and fingers of Wild Thing Wayne Tague. The Wild Thing getting his head battered against the canvas. Mark Coffey steps aside. He's going to turn it over to Joe Coffey. Wild Thing is still laid out, and here comes Big Joe Coffey. Rounds him up and starts to twist the head and neck on the Wild Thing Wayne Tague. Joe Coffey slams his head to the canvas. Rounds him up. Wild Thing counters. Gets a hold on Joe Coffey. Has him up. Nice vertical suplex from the Wild Thing. Going for the quick pin here. One. Hell, just a one. A little bit early in the game for trying to pin this thing and get it over with. Wild Thing with a clubbing blow to the chest. And here comes the Freak on the tag. Sylvia Strong just taking it all in stride. Ain't she cakes? Oh, man. There's a boot to the chest from the Freak. Joe Coffey counters, finds his way out of the corner. They collide. And, oh, wow. That was a hell of a... Whoa! That was a collision, but, wow. Joe Coffey went down pretty hard. Joe whipped into the Psychedelics corner, catches a couple of rights from the Freak. The Freak countered by Joe Coffey. Locks up. Clubbing overhand right. Joe Coffey with the German release suplex on the Freak. And the Snarl Tag Team Championships hanging in the balance here. Mark Coffey comes in on the tag. The Freak standing center ring waiting for him. Whoa! Gets taken down with a vicious knee. An overhand right. The Freak momentarily stunned by that one. There's a shot to the back. Mark Coffey whips him to the ropes. And a power slam just about center ring. That was pretty nicely done. Off the middle rope, an elbow across the chest of the Freak. From Mark Coffey, there's a driving knee right to the head. Mark Coffey rounds the Freak back up. Counter whip into his own team's corner. The Freak beating the system on that one. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Mark Coffey. The Freak driving all his weight into the midsection and then pitching Mark Coffey out towards center. The Freak takes himself topside here. Mark Coffey slowly making his way to a standing position here. And here we go. Oh, man, that was a good one. Down went Mark Coffey. The Freak going there. Gallus. Gaelic chicken. I can't. Oh, Wally, wow, good you. The Freak tries to introduce Mark Coffey to the turnbuckle, but to no avail. A quick counter. The Freak whipped out onto the apron. Mark Coffey tags him with a right, tags him with another. Drapes him over the top rope. There's a clubbing overhand right, and here's a quick cover from Mark Coffey. But Wild Thing Wayne Tague right there to save the match for his team. Mark Coffey caught from behind by the Freak. The Freak turns him around, has him in a front cradle, slams him into the turnbuckle, and pitches him towards center ring. All right. Okay. Here we go. A little bit of payback. Stamping the hands and fingers of Mark Coffey. The Freak decides he's had enough, letting the Wild Thing get a turn. Here comes Joe Coffey, fresh partners all the way around. A nice shoulder tackle from Joe. Joe Coffey with a clothesline to Wild Thing Wayne Teague. A driving knee to the head of the Wild Thing. They lock it up. Joe Coffey setting up the pump handle here. Has him up over the shoulder. Nice pump handle slam. A stomp to the head of the Wild Thing and another. Joe Coffey covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Sylvia's having herself a fit over here. All right. Rolling elbow to the chest from Big Joe Coffey. Wild Thing Wayne Teague rolls out to the floor. Here comes Mark Coffey on the tag. Referee Willie Johnson doesn't get to count too much. Wild Thing back in the ring. Whoa! Running boot to the face. And here's a pin. 1. Wow. He powered out of that one. The Wild Thing whips his opponent to the corner. He counters. Mark Coffey with a running crossbody to Wild Thing Wayne Teague. Wild Thing catching. Oh man, a dragon sleeper spin. That's new. There's one I definitely ain't seen before. Wow. Oh, Mark Coffey imposing his will on Wild Thing Wayne Teague at the present time. Here comes Big Joe Coffey. Wild Thing Wayne Teague standing center ring. Locks it up with Joe Coffey. Joe pitches him against the ropes. The Wild Thing counters. Goes behind. Inverted DDT. Slamming the head of Joe Coffey to the back of the canvas. Wild Thing Wayne Teague. Whoa! Vicious right hand. Took him down. There's another right to the head. The Wild Thing whips him to the Psychedelics corner. Here comes the Freak on the tag. There's a kick to the ribs. The Freak takes over for the Psychedelics. Look at this. Joe Coffey counters with elbows to the midsection. A right, a left. But the Freak counters him with a kick to the leg. There's those running forearms from the Freak. Joe Coffey whipped to the ropes. The Freak misses with the spear. Whoa, running boot to the face. Well, that was a good consolation prize. Wild Thing Wayne Teague comes in on the tag, and he's going straight after Mark Coffey instead. He gets a forearm to the face for his pains, but he ain't giving up. Wild Thing drapes Mark Coffey over the top rope. Hard right hand. Joe Coffey making his way back to the ring here. And Mark Coffey's taking a beating. Wild Thing's just having himself a ball. The Wild Thing, look at this. With a face claw. He's been hanging around John Van for a while. But whoa, nice way to get out of it from Joe Coffey. Countered it into an armbar. That was kind of impressive. Wild Thing whipped to the corner, but whoa, double boots to the face to Joe Coffey. Wild Thing whips Joe to the corner. Joe Coffey counters, finds his way out of the corner. Wild Thing tags him with a couple of shots and a side suplex. Here comes Mark Coffey again. Whoa, nice flying elbow. Mark Coffey takes down the Wild Thing, goes for the pin. 1, 2, another near fall in this tag team title matchup. And they can't afford to have that one go to 3. No, sir. Whoa, the spinning punch misses the mark. Wild Thing just kind of stepped out of the way. Mark Coffey whipped to the corner. There's a hard right. Here's a tag to the Freak. And here comes a double team. Look at this. Oh, man. Oh! Whoa, that was just nasty. Here's a cover. The Freak and the Wild Thing working on those tandem moves. That was a nice one. Modified snapshot up over the shoulders. Joe Coffey catches a knee to the face. Mark Coffey all the way up and all the way down. Both of them gone. The Freak wiped them both out. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. Shut up. What a hell of a way to retain the tag team championships.
Here's the time. 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Your winner Psychedelics.
And that Maze Army was another example of the Stronghold's power players in action. All the Stronghold's tag teams play hard, and that's why they're filthy with gold. Another amazing win for the Freak and the Wild Thing.
Amazing is right, GB. The Freak cleans house all by himself, lays out both Coffee Brothers, and picks up the 3-count pin. Not a bad day at the office for the Psychedelics.
It sure as hell wasn't. These guys are absolutely amazeballs. You ain't kidding. We'll be right back with our main event right after this.
So, check it out. We got one more high-stakes tag match in the main event with #1 contenders superstar Billy Graham and Jesse Ventura, all set to finally challenge Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot for the RWL Legends TV tags.
And the champ's got a special guest at ringside.
Now, everybody and their mom figured it would have been Dr. D. David Schultz and Dr. Death Steve Williams coming down the ramp here, but Graham, Ventura, and the Grand Wizard of Wrestling put the kibosh on their plans. And Graham and Ventura get another chance to make it to the top. They can pin or submit Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot. It's the only thing standing in their way, but it's a mammoth obstacle for sure.
I'll say they've got a better chance than most. But on the flip side, Sarge and the Patriot have held the belts since just before Summer's Sweet Revenge tour, and nobody's stopping them yet. So, really can't call a clear winner, but I'm leaning towards the champs, like most folks.
Yeah, same here. They're not gonna drop the titles in front of their special guest at ringside. Boy howdy, I knew Sarge was connected. But wowzers, special guest appearances in RWL are always rare, but always special.
Yeah, remember that time Angry Grandpa wrestled Too Short Popeye in a cage match? That actually happened, folks. Well, the boys look ready for their championship close-up, Mr. DeMille. Oh, man, what a main event we got going on here.
Talk about your appropriate associates. Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot joined at ringside tonight by the one, the only, the legendary Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, USMC. Seems he and Sergeant Slaughter hit it off when they met, and old Gunny was invited to stand ringside for this title match. Talk about your wild nights in El Paso.
That's one hell of a good luck charm, and they're gonna need as much good luck as a mean Marine drill instructor could provide, because Graham and Ventura are within striking distance.
And not even Gunny is gonna stop the Grand Wizard from lending a hand if things start going south for his team.
No bet. Sure thing, Johnny.
Man, how about this? Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. Wow. I mean, he's one of my favorites. Oh, man. I could imagine what the... Oh, man. It's a shame he can't cut a promo. That would have been spectacular.
Man, the vibe for this main event is just awesome. The Legends TV Tag Champs are looking way frosty for this one. Like we say around here, anything can happen. But the atmosphere says to me, these guys are probably leaving with the belts, like usual.
Yeah, really. Sarge would walk around with a paper bag over his head for a month if he lost in front of old Gunny.
And they've already got Graham and Ventura looking like buck privates.
10 hook. Wow, man. Oh, this is gonna be one of the best main events we've had on Snarl for a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Snarl main event, one fall, with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Legends TV Tag Championships. The challengers, along with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, at a combined weight of 552 pounds, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura, and from Paradise Valley, Arizona, Superstar Billy Graham. Their opponents joined at ringside Sergeant Hartman. At a combined weight of 550 pounds, the RWL Legends TV Tag Champions from the United States of America, the Patriot. And from Paris Island, South Carolina, Sergeant Slaughter.
Now, gentlemen, they do not come any bigger than this.
I'm not so jaded that I'm not excited for this one. If you're not, you probably ain't got a pulse.
All right, Jesse and the Sarge starting things off here as Willie Johnson rings the bell. Here's our main event. They lock it up center ring. The Sarge catching elbows to the midsection from Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body charges. Sarge puts on the brakes, tags him with a right, gets a hold on him. Escorts him to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle he goes, and quick counter from Jesse Ventura. Kick to the midsection from the Sarge. He's got him up. Nasty way to deliver a knee to the midsection. Gunny's talking trash to Jesse Ventura. Sarge up on the top turnbuckle, waiting for Jesse to stand on up, and there's a shoulder tackle off the top. Here comes the Patriot on the tag. Oh yeah, Sarge. Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. Going 7 counts of crazy out there at ringside. The Patriot going to work on a down Jesse Ventura, who has yet to tag in superstar Billy Graham. Not a good idea, especially with the tag team titles on the line. A stomp to the midsection misses, but a shoulder tackle from the Patriot doesn't. And Jesse Ventura right back down on the canvas being worked on by the Patriot. The Patriot locks him up. Takes him right back to the opposing team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle we go, and here's the Sarge, and here comes a double team incoming for Jesse Ventura. Man, back body drop. Sarge takes over for his team. There's a stomp to the face of Jesse Ventura. Sarge going for the pin center ring, but superstar Billy Graham right there to spoil the party. The Patriot shows him the door. Sergeant Slaughter with a rolling elbow off the back of Jesse the Body Ventura. And this one's exploded into chaos. We got chaos on the outside. The Patriot and superstar Graham mixing it up. Gunnery Sergeant Hartman talking trash to Jesse Ventura. And Sergeant Slaughter going to work on Jesse Ventura, who has still yet to tag. Almost 3 minutes into the match. Meanwhile, Sarge and the Patriot have already tagged off a couple of times. Sergeant Slaughter all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Here we go again. Double axe handle finds the mark on the dome of Jesse Ventura. Jesse catching right hands on one side of the ring, and on the other side we got the Patriot trying to squeeze the brain fluids out of the head of superstar Billy Graham. And he's still trying. And in the midst of all of it, Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. Unbelievable. What a main event, you guys. Sarge with a big time slam on Jesse Ventura on the outside with Willie Johnson counting. Jesse rolled back inside the ring. Here comes the Sarge. Jesse is motionless. Sergeant Slaughter winds up the arm and snaps it on Ventura. Here comes the Patriot on the tag. And Jesse Ventura is in pretty bad shape right about now. The Patriot all the way up off the top. There's an elbow drop across the back of Jesse Ventura. Here's another pin. Again, superstar Graham right there. Sarge tags him with a beauty of a knee. And out to the floor goes superstar Billy Graham. The Patriot continuing to work on Jesse Ventura. And he's just about had enough. At least I think so. A knee to the midsection from Jesse. Jesse gets a hold on the Patriot. Lays him up against the ropes. And goes to work on the arm. Using the ropes for leverage. Ventura escorting the Patriot to his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Patriot. Finally, superstar Graham getting some action here. Here's a double team. Double axe handle across the arm of the Patriot. Graham winds up the arm. He's got him all the way up. Oh man, what a nasty arm drag. And an arm slap. An arm snap from superstar Billy Graham. The superstar with a couple of quick lefts and rights. A knee to the midsection. And down goes the Patriot. The Patriot gathered up again. Superstar Billy Graham escorts him towards the corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Patriot again. This time he counters, catches a cheap shot from Jesse Ventura. Graham goes behind, tags him with a shot to the back. Hard whip to the ropes, all the way up, back body drop to the Patriot. Graham goes for the cover and hooks the leg. One. Oh, not even one. Hell, even Willie Johnson didn't count that one. Here comes Jesse Ventura again. The Patriot right there waiting for him, locks him up. Whips Ventura to the corner. I gotta tell you, Jesse Ventura has taken quite a beating already. Surprised to see him back in so soon. The Patriot putting the boots to Jesse Ventura, and he collapses towards center ring. The Patriot slams the face of Jesse Ventura nose first right into the canvas. Here comes the Sarge again. Henry Sergeant Hartman rallying the troops. This is amazing. There's a stomp to the face to Jesse Ventura from the Sarge. The Sarge locks him up. Hard shot to the midsection. A hard shot that spins Ventura around. He goes behind on him and belly to back suplex. Sarge goes after Superstar Graham. Superstar Graham just playing with him, but the Sarge eventually connects. Graham counters. Decides to step away from the situation. Probably a wise move. Jesse Ventura laid out. The referee counting him. Graham with a shoulder tackle to the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter debating whether or not he's going to go after Superstar Graham. Jesse Ventura still being countered by the referee. Sarge not giving up, but gets hung up on the top rope. Superstar Graham not playing around here. A clothesline puts Ventura right back out on the outside. Well, damn. The Patriot comes in on the tag. The Patriot with a shoulder shot to Superstar Graham puts him on the floor. Jesse Ventura being urged by Willie Johnson, get back in the ring. Here comes the Patriot. Knee to the midsection and a kick to the chest, followed up with another kick to the chest. Oh, man. It's been a good one. The Legends TV Tag Championships on the line, and we're still going strong here. Almost halfway through. Sergeant Slaughter comes in on the tag. Jesse Ventura quickly back up. An elbow to the face of the Sarge. Jesse Ventura drops the big-time elbow across the chest of Sergeant Slaughter. Double boot stomp to the arm. If one's bad, two is even worse. Jesse Ventura catching elbows from Sergeant Slaughter. The Sarge moves in, but is quickly countered by Jesse Ventura up into a fireman's carry, slammed down to the canvas, and into a bow and arrow stretch. Obviously Jesse Ventura and Superstar Billy Graham realize what is going on here, what is on the line, and they are not fooling around. Sergeant Slaughter takes Graham down with a shoulder tackle. Sarge slips to the outside. The Grand Wizard better get the hell on out of the way. There's a shoulder tackle from Graham. Sarge counters with a kick. The Superstar pitched towards the barricades. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling looks like he's about to have a fit. Jesse Ventura catching it from the Sarge, hung up on the top rope. Down he goes, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. Really mixed up here. Graham misses with his shot. Tried for the chop block to the knee, didn't get it. Catches an overhand right from the Sarge. The Sarge going for the pin. No Jesse to help. 1, 2. Superstar Graham still fresh. Got that left shoulder up pretty quick. Another knee to Superstar Graham from the Sarge. Ventura still laid out. Graham drugs center ring. Sarge catches an elbow. Sarge counters with an elbow. Quickly takes Graham back down again, and we're still waiting for Jesse Ventura. Oh, man, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling looking a little bit worried right about now. The tag team champions in control of the situation right about now. Center ring, Sarge with the crossface on Superstar. And look at this. Jesse Ventura making the rescue just in time. Superstar Graham counters back up on his feet. The Sarge down on the canvas. Graham gathers him back up. Sarge whipped to the corner. Superstar Billy Graham rounds him up for a scoop slam. I don't know what he was stomping at. Might have been a cockroach in the corner. Sergeant Slaughter tags out. The Patriot takes control of things. Superstar Graham finding the exit off the expressway. Here comes Jesse the Body Ventura. Charges the Patriot. The Patriot with a spine buster. Center ring. Quickly going for the pin. 1, 2. Okay. Jesse Ventura. Got to give him credit. He has taken a beating and he's still kicking out of pins. Some serious business. Again, Graham and Ventura determined to get these titles away from Sergeant the Patriot. But so far at halfway, still no sign of a winner. The Patriot trying to break it up though here. Here's a sharpshooter. But Superstar Graham intervenes. The Patriot gets a hold of him. Trap squeeze. He's going to try and put him to sleep. Oh, man. Superstar Graham fading fast. And down he goes. He is done for the moment. The Patriot returns to Jesse the Body Ventura, who is definitely taking a beating. Knee to the side of the head. And that's the Patriot's parting shot as he turns it over to Sergeant Slaughter. Jesse the Body in desperate need of some help from somewhere. Superstar Graham, I'm looking at you. Knee to the side of the head of Jesse Ventura. The Sarge makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Superstar Graham, at least able to help a little bit on the outside, shoves the Sarge off the top turnbuckle. The Sarge is going to make Jesse Ventura pay for it. Ventura decides against a trip to the corner with elbows to the midsection. Locks it up with the Sarge. Sarge taken down to the canvas by Jesse. Look at this. One arm push-ups from Captain Freedom over here. Loved him in that movie.
Forget it, Killian. I won't do it. He was fantastic.
Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Sarge. Superstar Billy Graham comes in on the tag. Up on the middle rope, another double axe handle to the Sarge. Superstar Graham locks it up with Sergeant Slaughter, whips him to the ropes, a kitchen sink knee to the gut. Graham takes the Patriot out too. Takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Ventura putting the boots to Sergeant Slaughter. Graham decides against the high-risk maneuver, probably a smart move. Goes to the opposing turnbuckle. Decides he's going to target the Patriot, maybe? No. Oh, well, everybody missed on that one. Graham determined to pull off a move and finally gets a double axe handle on the Sarge. I'm going to do something off these ropes. Sarge with elbows to the midsection of Superstar Billy Graham. Graham counters with a kick to the midsection. Oh, what a match. Graham with a boot to the face of the Sarge. Superstar Graham tags out to Jesse Ventura. Sergeant Slaughter standing center ring waiting for him. They collide center ring. They lock it up, collar and elbow. Up over the shoulders. Ventura quick with the counter. A chop block to the knee of Sergeant Slaughter and down he goes. And the momentum shifts one more time. Knee to the head of the Sarge from Jesse Ventura. Brother gets full marks. He has been in this match 100% and still going. Sarge back into the opposing team's corner. Superstar Graham comes in on the tag. And we got a different double team this time. A double axe handle across the back instead of the arm. Well, at least they interspersed their thing with a little variety. Superstar Graham gathers up the Sarge pump handle. Knee to the gut. Covers. Hooks the leg center ring. 1. No. Sergeant Slaughter kicking out at a 1. The boys have a lot of work to do. Man, knee to the head from Superstar Graham. Jesse Ventura brought in on the tag. Finally, the tag team mechanics starting to work on the side of Graham and Ventura with the titles hanging in the balance. Sergeant Slaughter, center ring, slowly making his way to a standing position. Graham assists him on up. And not for the good. Up over the shoulders. Oh, Canadian backbreaker. The Patriot breaks that one up before it becomes a serious threat of a submission. He winds up inverted. Over the shoulders. Oh, man, nasty. Jesse Ventura still kicking ass over here after taking the beating he's taken. Whip to the ropes. Hard shot to the midsection from the Sarge. Jesse Ventura catches a shot to the head. The Patriot and Graham on the outside battling it out. A headlock punch to Graham. Ventura with the upper hand, a pile driver on the Sarge. This could be bad. Ventura covers. 1, 2. Sarge kicked out. The Patriot was on the way. Ventura taking Willie Johnson to task for his count. But Willie's doing just fine, trust me. Ventura off the top, double boots, right to the gut of the Sarge. Turns his attention to the Patriot. The Patriot hangs him up quick off the top rope. And Gunny's having a great old time. Shut up. Again, Ventura hung off the top rope by the Patriot. The Sarge quickly back up on his feet to take advantage of it, clubbing overhand right to Ventura. Here comes the Patriot on the tag. Unbelievable. What a match, almost 3/4 of the way done here. Enziguri from Jesse Ventura. Ventura with an arm breaker on the Patriot, parlays that into an arm bar. Really laying into it too. Ventura tags in the Superstar. The Patriot catches a running bulldog from Superstar Billy Graham. Graham rounds him up. Tries for the bear hug. The Patriot puts on the block, takes him down to the canvas. The Patriot with a knee to the head of Superstar Graham. Going right to work on the Superstar near his corner. A good place to have him. Gunnery Sergeant Hartman getting a great view here. A headlock punch. A double axe handle to the back of the head of Superstar Graham. The Patriot takes himself topside. And here he goes. Whoa! Elbow drop right across the back of Superstar Graham. The Patriot covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Again, Jesse Ventura saving the day for his team with less than 4 minutes to go. What a main event, y'all. Graham with a kick to the head of the Patriot on the outside. The referee urging him to get back in the ring. Time's wasting. The Patriot catches a nasty arm drag from Graham, follows that up with an arm snap. The Patriot rounded up again. A set of rights and lefts and a throat chop from Graham. It's getting intense, and time is definitely running out. The Patriot back inside the ring with Graham, gets a hold on him. Knee right to the midsection. Graham counters with a kick. Whoa! Sarge with a cheap shot. Graham momentarily stunned. The Patriot going to take full advantage of that. He's got him up over the shoulder, slams him right down. The Patriot gathers Graham up one more time, takes him down and setting him up for the sharpshooter. In his corner, this could be good right here. Here it goes. Graham stepping out. It is all over. Sarge and the Patriot retain the Legends TV Tag Titles by submission. Shut up.
Here's the time, 17 minutes and 8 seconds. Your winners and still Legends TV Tag Champions, Sarge and the Patriot.
I think it's fair to say we called this one, guys, but there was no way at all that we could have called this outcome. A buzzer beater with a tap out from the Patriot on Superstar Graham. Are you serious now? What a terrific win for the Legends TV Tag Champions.
And man, I wouldn't mind if Gunnery Sergeant Hartman stopped by with the boys a bit more often. She'd if we can have Pat McAfee's toxic table running loose around here. Gunny could add some class to the Germs.
What a banger to cap off this week's Snarl. Friends, fans, and fam, we thank you as always for being with us tonight and for your support of our WL Wrestling. We appreciate every single one of you. Okay, up next it's Monday night when we'll be back with Rage and the ongoing tag team tournament, so stay tuned. Hit all the notifications and your ringside seat will be right here waiting for you. For GB Tex and me, Wally Cardell saying thanks, good night, be safe, and don't take any Gaelic chickens. See you next Saturday.
Gaelic chickens. I can't.